go text a couple of your friends. I just did. I was like, hey, come check us out, Lei Ānuenue, and tell them where to go, where you came. And we want to fill up our Zoom room. We want to fill up our Facebook. So yeah, go text your ohana, go share them on your Facebook. And yeah, tell them to come join into the party, because we're totally excited for our Lei Ānuenue, for our session for today. Earlier this morning, oh my gosh, I hope you guys joined in with Aha Kane, and Sam Kapoy and Umi Kai. Oh, they had it laid out. I was just loving it. All the different mea kaua. We were learning so much. I hope you guys had, tuned in and was checking it out. So yeah, I'm Facebook too, because I know we have a bunch of friends that also join us on Facebook. So I'm gonna pull that up and make sure I can see that feed as well. So I see, yeah, a lot of us saying aloha in there. Oh yeah, we're live. Let me just put my audio down. Sorry, you guys are in here and seeing all the setup. So, woohoo! Totally excited. Yeah, please go invite your friends, invite your aloha. We just love being here on Zoom and on Facebook and coming into your hale. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mahalo nui to my tita Ānuenue, who connected us and was like, yeah, you got to do a show. So, hey, aloha. So, yeah.
I just unmuted.
So, yeah, we're here. I see some friends saying hi on Facebook. And, I got to check my watch over here, too, because this one had make a little bit on me. So I gotta make sure I can see the time on my end. Oh, I want to speak over here. Oh, Kani no kahola, no Leila. Oh, yeah, I see our friends joining in. So we're gonna get started here. And let's see my next slide here. Oh, yeah, I wanted, back. So I wanted to do a quick shout out, because yesterday was Earth Day, and celebrating 50 years. And I think it fits perfectly into a lot of our programming and what we're doing. And, I wanted to tell you guys about this Earth Day Live. I've been tuning into it, and it actually started yesterday and it goes all the way till tomorrow. But go check it out. It's Earth Day Live. It's on the internet. And you can find it at earthdaylive2020.org. A lot of young ones, youth that's been just sharing, and a lot of discussions around climate change. And also I wanted to put out a shout to all of you, a kahea, to go and do the census 2020 and to be counted in there, because that's an important part of, just the kinds of programs that exist today, and housing and all kinds of things. And we're going to learn more about that next week. I invited some friends to come and talk about the census. But especially go check out earthdaylive2020.org. Yeah, tomorrow they're going to have some live programming. I've loved tuning in, even for 15-20 minutes. I just listen, and yeah, it's really hoi hoi. So I wanted to share that with all of you, because there's so many amazing programs going on. Go check them out. So normally we like to see who's here with us. No, Leila, please put in the Zoom chat or on Facebook. I saw people saying aloha from Colorado. I see Hina joining in from Aotearoa. Kuanoni's joining us. Mahina's with us. Let us know where you're tuning in from, whether you're on the Zoom chat or you're on Facebook. And again, go share them on your Facebook. I see Lele Hune's joining in from Princeville. So aloha e Lele Hune. Who else is out there? We love to know who's in our community, who's on this online kaya ulu. because that's really what we're doing, is we're building community here with each of you. We're coming into your hale, we're coming into your community and building this honua of community. So I see kapa'a Kauai, pu o halakane ohe, mililani o ahu. Washington is here, Bellingham, originally from Paoa, aloha no. Also tuning in from Nanakuli. Let's see, on Facebook, that's why you kind of see my eyes go back and forth. I like have one device here, my phone, that I'm watching on Facebook. I see Hilo is joining us. Niu, Keavava on Niu, Maryland. Let's see, Japan. Japan is tuning in with us too. I want to know where in Japan. Can you let us know? Japan gets so many beautiful places over there, just like all of our other aina. Mo Ili Ili is joining us. Wailua Kauai, Pearl City, Oahu. Let's see. Yeah, all kind. Kaimuki, and that's where Umi Kai was joining in with us earlier today with Ahakane. So aloha to our ohana joining us from Kaimuki. And yeah, Big Island Kona. Woohoo! Represent. Aloha no. And let's see. Knoxville, Virginia. Is VA Virginia? You guys gotta let me know because I'm just guessing. I know HI, the Hawaii one. VA, I think it's Virginia. Is that Pololei? Waimanalo is here. Kanani is tuning in from Waimanalo. Awesome. So we got a Lehu Lehu joining us. We love it. Even Canada. Oh my gosh. Ontario, Canada, and the UK. Woohoo! So you see this Pakipika picture just got bigger. This honua is so humongous. So let's holomua. So my question, because we're kind of talking about kalo and hāloa, I kind of want to ask you guys another question. Put a 1 in the chat if 1, my ohana grows kalo. And why did I put a question mark there? It shouldn't have been there. Number 2, my ohana wants to grow kalo. Number 3, I'm just interested in learning more. Number 4, I'm a fan of Chef Gooch. And number 5, you're just checking us out, you know, some other kind of category. So I just kind of want to see who's out there and who's here with us. Okay, I see a few people who want to grow kalo, or you're already growing kalo. Some you just interested in learning. A few that you want to grow kalo. You want to know, like, how do I get started? Some is saying, oh yeah, Gooch is my anakala. So I'm here to be with my anakala. Awesome. And I think that's Lelehune maybe. 4, yeah, we have a few fans in here of Gooch. Let's see, who else? Some that work and is here to support Gooch. So you work with Gooch, awesome. Some is saying 1, yes, 3 all the time. So 1, yes, we grow kalo. 3 all the time, always interested in learning. Polo Lekena, that is such a Hawaii thing. We're always here to learn, to share, to teach. And that's why we love doing Lei Ānuenue. On Facebook, yeah, I'm seeing a whole variety too. 1s, 3s, 2s, 4s. Awesome. So we got a whole bunch of variety of us. Awesome. Thanks for giving us a sense of, you know, who's out there. So I'm Malia Nobrega Oliveira. I'm just so happy to be joining you guys with from Hanapepe, Kauai. And I stayed on this one here because this was Guche's request for his photo on this one. But I'm gonna take me off of share now so you can kind of see us a little bit more up close. And then I see he was in his mala over there. So I'm gonna unmute his end. And hey Gooch, you wanna just say aloha and tell us where you're tuning in from?
Okay. Aloha kako from Anahola to Auckland. Big shout out to my people in Iapana. Great to see people from Japan. I guess some of my students are here as well as my colleagues. It's an honor. It's really a privilege. If it's your first time tuning into Lei Ānuenue, mahalo for tuning in. If you're a veteran, you know the amount of talent and the ike and just the like incredibly ridiculously smart people that have been presenting. So Malia mahalo, but I have no idea what I'm doing here. Please bear with me as this is my live, and if you know me, you know that I cannot stay still. So I'm gonna pull weeds, but today I just kind of want to share the Noguchi Ohana's relationship with Hāloa. I feel that our relationship with Hāloa is unique in the sense that one, as a chef, I've needed to learn how to sort of juxtapose traditional learnings and practices with the practicality of being a chef. And we'll talk a little bit about that later. But also, my Ike comes from a particular perspective. I'm a second generation Japanese. I am not native Hawaiian. But I was very blessed to have been mentored through Hāloa Kuhi, Waipio Valley, Kamuleie, Kako Oiwi, Papahana. I can go on and on and on. And so I treasure that. And so for myself, when a lot of people ask me, like, how come you always say that you need to feel like you need to talk about not being Hawaiian? It's because my perspective comes from, I'm starting my Noguchi lineage. Our relationship with Hāloa, starts with us. It's not, my ancestry doesn't tie back, right, to Kaikinui. I fell in love with Kalo because I was fortunate that my mentors quickly laid into me the connection. And when you look at Kalo as a human being, so many other things make sense. And as you'll see in this hour, things that we share, it kind of is circular. It always comes around. So, but this is our mala. It was harvested on Ole Moon, and on Mahealani, actually, the early eve of Mahealani, we replanted. As you can see already, she started to come back. We have 7 varieties. We will get to, I'll get to taste it with Gonzo and Keao. Well, we can discuss it as we go along, but let's start with, we'll start with first slide.
Yeah,
so,
I'm gonna pull up the slides.
We froze.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the slides. I can hear you guys, but maybe we gotta go back in or something.
We're gonna walk back to the house then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go back. So you guys, I know that there was a lot of comments that people already grow kalo. That's awesome. When you see where our mala is, it's located on probably like maybe a 22 to 24 square foot strip of soil. We did feed the soil, organic matter, compost, our vermicast, fish emulsion, practice out that way. I got some good advice from Dean Wilhelm and Ho'okua Aina, who was talking about a mala and the process of feeding it. So we feed our kalo twice. I vigorously weed for about the first 4 months, at least until the kalo gets to be about hip high. And then the leaf gets big enough that starts to shade out a lot of the weeds. I found that by, really aggressively and being very proactive on the weeding and like the de-slugging and the de-snailing. My wife will tell you that I turn into old Japanese man in the evening. I put my headlamp on and my little deli of salt that I go salt slugs and snails for like an hour. But after that, it starts to take care of itself.
Oh, awesome.
So, where's Gonzo? Where's our slides? So this is our ohana. As you can tell, if you look at our parents, that's as Japanese as it gets. And then this is my family on the right. It's my wife, Amanda. Our oldest is Eleanor, and our youngest is Aki. And that's us. So next slide. So for myself, for Swoki time, I wanted to hula. While growing up in Honolulu, especially predominantly in the Valley of Manoa, to be like a good towny Japanese boy, you got to be good at soccer or baseball, and I sucked at all of that. And so I always hung out with, like the Papakolea guys, the Palolo guys, and I always wanted to hula. But my father being a first generation, that was like out of the question. And so when life as a young teenager finally took me to Hilo, I was fortunate to meet up with a Hāloa Kekuhi. And this is me about 60 pounds ago. And I never knew that hula was going to build a foundation for the rest of my life. Going on it.
Awesome.
This picture, I feel very fortunate to have this picture. This was the first day that I was in Waipio Valley. The day that also was very pivotal for me. I always enjoyed being outside. I always rather have, for some reason, I was always Aina based even before I knew Aina based. Go ahead.
Okay.
So we'll move pretty quickly through this. The Anakala in the middle is Kia Franda. If you were in the UH Hilo system in the 90s, you know Uncle Kia. This was where we were real lucky to live, down in and out for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then fortunately before Uncle and Hala, I was able to bring my family down. Keep going. So, chef, let's condense this because we got an hour. Hula, traveling around the world, understanding the way that people came out of the woodworks and celebrated with food. You grew up in Hawaii. I kind of took it for granted that like only Hawaii people love food like that. And you realize that is not true. That's a universal thing. And for some reason, hula led me into a place of becoming a chef. And I was fortunate that I did well at it. I love the work. I can't sit still. I can work for 16, 18 hours, no problem. So I took to becoming a cook. Go ahead. So as my career sort of developed, I started to feel like I was losing touch, because when you're as a chef or a cook or you work in the hospitality industry, you are the furthest thing from Alo'i. You're the furthest thing from a Wahipana. But I realized that at the same time too, there were things that weren't leaving me. So like for instance, believe it or not, the photo on the left, that's taco poke. It's just done differently. It was just, you make it look nice and you cut the green onions and you make the fancy. The dish on the right was my friend, Chef Bella Toland. And she made, you believe it or not, that's squid luau. And she took the luau and the coconut and she put it inside the gyoza wrapper. She braised and then grilled the piece of he'e. But the luau inside the gyoza was liquid enough that when you ate it together, it melted. And to this day, it's one of my favorite interpretations of a traditional dish. I think I ate like 20 of those. I just stood there and just went trough that thing. So next one.
Oh, that looks amazing. They say Monica ha'ai. Make them all juicy inside.
Hiking, like that. So as you can tell, as a chef, especially when you're young, I think you feel that you need to be different, change the wheel, and be original. And so we tried it. As you can tell, we did everything on the left side, braising it in kombu with other stuff, getting fancy. On the right is the first time that I was ever introduced to lena. And I wanted to know, like on a hyperbolic level, what temperature is it that's required to get the calcium oxalate, the itchy stuff, to disappear. And if you can look at the picture, it says 80 degrees Celsius in the water bath. So we found that at 80 degrees Celsius, approximately, roughly about 160 Fahrenheit, water and heat is what breaks down calcium oxalate. So, for a while we got a little fancy with it. We wrap everything up, sous vide it, et cetera, but go ahead, next slide. And then fortunately, luau became a very popular dish. I learned how to make luau stew in Hilo for Kika Nohara. He was a ho'opa'a for Hāloa Kekuhi, and he taught it to me one night. If we've ever talked about luau, you've heard the story. So we say that for later. But this is every bag right there is actually 40 pounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times 40. You can do the math. But at this time, we were a small company, and we were really lucky that people enjoyed our luau. And we figured out that at time, that's about our 5th year as Pili Group. We did the calculation that around that time we had made over 2 metric tons of luau by that time. Next slide.
Can I ask a quick
memories
question?
right now.
quick question. On the
Yeah.
right-hand side, is that like a big pressure cooker or something?
That is a steam. It's a steam kettle. And what those are like kitchen equipment that, like, unless you work industry, you might never see. But that thing right there holds. Oh, it could hold like me, Gonzo, Kehao, you, and maybe like Uncle Umi's leg all at the same time.
Neat.
I think, that's about 250 pounds of luau that's going to get cooked out. Oh, I wanted to share this picture of my hiapo. This is a picture. This is our restaurant Mission. And she's crying because one of my cooks didn't cook the luau long enough. And I think this is a great place to talk real fast on when you cook with family, yeah, it's easy. You're all together, you all cook, you understand what's going on. We are all ma'atu luau. As a chef, you need to come up with these systems on how to explain to your team on the importance of cooking, not just luau, but anything in general. So in this case, with this young cook who will remain nameless, I told that person multiple times, taste your food, taste your food, taste your food. In the kitchen, you get screamed at all the time. Are you tasting your food? Taste, taste, taste. Yes, chef, yes, chef, yes, chef. Well, this cook didn't taste the luau and then fed it to my daughter. That's what happened. And needless to say, that cook wasn't with us for very long, but that's okay. But fortunately, our daughter still loves luau to this day. Next slide.
So maybe just mention, because if there's some out there that have never eaten luau before, like, why baby crying? What did the chef do wrong?
So if you don't, when we were talking a little bit earlier about the, that cooking that luau on the water bath, yeah, calcium oxalate are almost like little glass crystals, and it breaks down with water and heat. So you need to understand that concept and know that, you need to cook it properly. And then Kealoha Domingo told me once that kalo is a lifelong passion. It's a lifelong learning. I am a lifelong student of kalo. And then you start to learn that different varieties have different cooking times, right? Different varieties have different amounts of calcium oxalate. And by continuing to plant kalo, harvest, cook it, eat it, you start to become ma'an what each individual variety, gives you. So with all that fancy food, at the end of the day, this is what I wanted to cook. All I wanted to do was make home food. And I started to feel how do I bring hula? How do I bring Aina-based life to the big table? And that was definitely the struggle for all, throughout my career. Next slide, please. But after about the 6th or 7th year as Pili Group, in I would say the early 2000s, I started to notice like a little change. I started to notice, people like Ed Kenny were pioneers of the farm to table movement here in Hawaii. And the Filipino brother on the right, Sheldon Simeon, when we were at Tasted Kaka'ako, he came to Honolulu, and we were, everybody keep touch on Instagram and say, yeah, I dropped something off at you. And he comes, and a lot of times when you go to a restaurant for the first time, or you go to meet a chef, or when we go out and eat, we always bring beer to the restaurants. He brought kalo, and this was from his uncle's farm in Wailuku. And couple things happened. One, he and I became fast friends to this day. He's one of my best friends. But two, it sparked the idea that kalo was starting to become known on the mainstream. Ulu, uwala. It wasn't something that was just, hidden in our rural pockets, or, hidden among like the local people. Yeah. It was something that was becoming embraced on the larger framework. So this picture is this is the in the center is Kaui and Ioane, the Kalakaole family in the Park Ohana. With them, we formed this event called Hanaku, where we select 2 chefs every year. The chefs are of an Aina-based focus. We try to, we do look at local chefs first, because we want to bring them out to Hana, embed, or stay with Hana families, live and experience the Hana way. And what happens is twofold, is that as chefs coming from the city, everyone walks away changed. You walk away transformed. They walk away inspired, understanding that less is more, remembering what it is that brought us to the kitchen in the first place. And on the flip side of that, I think that what I've seen with Hana people is that the notion of what you know city chefs do, or the notion of fancy food becomes dispelled. And at the end of the day, we're all speaking the same language, we're all cooking the same food, and we're all drinking the same thing. And for us, for my wife and I, we have definitely tried to keep Aina-based living as part of our daily life. For those that live in Honolulu, you know that it is a challenge. When I left Hawaii Island, I was sad. You know, I thought that I wouldn't get the opportunity to share that. So, Gonzo, how long are we? Yeah? Okay, I'm good. Next slide. So as you can tell, this is stuff, we do this on a regular. We're fortunate that we get to share. In Halal, and Tinalani always told us that our job as professionals is to educate and inspire. And I have no idea why it stuck, but it did. My wife, when we first started dating, we got asked to do a cooking demo, and I suggested pa'iai. And so what you see a lot of times now is Amanda will ku'i and I will talk. Because when I try to ku'i and talk, I end up leaving other things on the board like fingers. Next one. So this is a very pivotal point. This is my mother in the middle. And as I was trying to figure out where my place lay in our food industry, my mother told me she got pancreatic cancer. And so we wanted to figure out how we could spend more time. And at that point, we were cranky. We had 2 young babies, you know, 2 restaurants, a catering department, all kind of other stuff going on. And through a conversation and a leap of faith, we decided to close all of our restaurants. Next. So in May, my mother, she passed. But at the same time, Punahou School actually kind of made an offer that I couldn't refuse. You know, they asked if I would help create food and Aina-based curriculum. And at first, it was discussed whether it was just going to be academy. But I wanted to take on K through 12. I feel that if I had only created this curriculum for academy, you know, for the 9 through 12, we'd be missing out on some of the most formative years, you know, of our OPO's lives. So I took K through 12 and started to teach and figure out how to integrate soft skills along with like culinary chemistry and just regular world practices. So for instance, this is teaching the kids last year how to make ta'ape because we were getting ready for summer. Next slide, please.
Oops, sorry. Hold on.
This one is, yeah, so things like making lau lau. Next one. Ulu. Ulu is a big one. We use ulu in a whole bunch of ways where the kindergartners pick it. And then as the kids get older, we start to integrate different methods of cooking. And also like you can integrate sustainability and things like that. So, next. And I think all of those things paid off. I get to cook. I am so fortunate that I have a community that supports and a family that supports taking chances. I have a wonderful employer who supports me taking chances. And I get to still cook. I'm sure most of us know this gentleman right here. We love him and we miss him. But this was at Paipai. This is Nani He'ia. Next slide, please. You know, Brutus said that you couldn't fry fish in a malo. So I told him we're going to fry fish in a malo. And nobody got hurt. Next slide. I hate chef coats. That is not my jam. And so to this day, you know, I think that even through all the changes, we've had the parallels. You know, and for those of us that still continue to bring work groups and take our OPO, take our colleagues and friends out, we do it to this day the same way that we did in the 90s. Next one. We teach our ohana with friends, you know, river. Be surprised how many people have never been in a river. Next one. And this was just a couple pictures of when we were harvesting our mala. The wahine on the left is Kumu Eliza later. She takes care of all the mala and the gardening and the English programs at Puno and our girls. Next.
Oh, okay. That was our last
and
one.
And that's it. Let's get to the fun part. Any questions?
Oh, no. I see just a lot of comments. There are some new people who weren't sure even what kalo was. So our
I'm
Kanayo
sorry.
team, no, it's okay. They put a link in there. So we have a friend that's joining in and said, wow, just read that link. How fortunate Hawaii is to have such a wide variety of beautiful plants.
Absolutely, I should say. So what I wanted to do today was, we're gonna do two things. I wanted to show you we're gonna do luau curry. Couple things want to show you first. So first kitchen hack. If you ever put your cutting board onto the table and she slides around, you almost chop off your finger. So what we do, you take a towel, you get it damp, you put it down, and don't use paper towels. Don't use the one single-use stuff. Just use a towel and wash it afterwards. Slice an onion, 2 onions. And then what I like to do when I'm working away from my rubbish can, and this is what we do when you work on station, you want to have a little schmutz bucket. You want to have a bowl or something to collect your food scraps, and then it can go. Hopefully, I hope all of us have a composting bin by then. Or if not, make one. Okay.
You know, I was going to say, because we do have some young ones like Kamaha'o that joins us in every day. And I was going to say, Kamaha'o, just be careful when you go and cut your onions and that. Make sure you talk to mom or dad for be there to guide you. So to all our haumana that want to try cook, just be safe.
Yeah. So when you got your onions in, you always you want to start with a pinch of salt, not too big. The salt, what the salt does is the salt's going to start to draw out moisture. It's also going to begin the seasoning process. So boom, just sweat it out a little bit. While this is working, what we have here is we have 5 different varieties of lau. These are all the different varieties that came out of our mala. And I don't know if anyone else has done it, but I have never tasted, multiple varieties side by side, also known as a horizontal tasting. We're gonna do that today. Gonzo and Kehao get to try too. So all of these things were cooked with just water and a little bit of salt. Everything was cooked for 3 hours. I haven't, next step I would think is to figure out how long each one takes before you get rid of all the oxide. Moving back here, we're sweating it out. All I'm looking for is the onions to start to turn translucent.
So Gooch, a question I'm seeing is how high is the heat right now on your stove?
So my heat is about medium. If you want to be hyperbolic about it, it's 30% of full volume. Big one. Always remember, you control the fire. The fire doesn't control you. So in other words, it's easy, like especially in a busy kitchen, we get flustered and we burn things. So for us, it's always a good mental note to remember that we are in control of it at all times. And yes, I still burn things.
I see.
So once our onions are translucent,
Can I ask a quick question?
Yep.
Hoku is asking, are there any ways to cook kalo for pounding without a pressure cooker?
Absolutely. So a pressure cooker creates pressure, right? And what that does is that actually raises the internal temperature of the pot. So things cook faster, and also the water and the steam kind of get injected in quicker. You can boil it, you can steam it. I've cut it into chunks, and put it in a smoker. Oh, that's something in for you too afterwards. So yes, multiple ways. All you gotta remember is moisture and heat. And however you can get there, give up. So now we're gonna add chicken stock. And what I did was I just braised some chicken. If you know, if I was cooking dinner at home and had plenty of time, I would have, you know, browned the chicken and everything inside. I kind of just cheated. I kind of cheated it actually to just get going, make sure we're overtime. Because if you know, I have a penchant for talking overtime. So we've got curry powder, some Madras curry powder. This is kind of a riff off of my mother's recipe. She would always make for parties just some real simple, you know, a real simple chicken curry. But our house loves luau. And just to let you guys know, this is the first time that I am trying luau in my chicken curry. So this could be like, you know, greatest kitchen disasters live on Kanayo Kana Zoom. Okay, so once I got that going, I'm going to bring it up to temperature. That means bring it up to a boil. I'm going to just slice my chicken real quick.
So, you know, Gooch, most people, if they're not growing their own halo and luau leaf, they're going to go to like Times or Foodland to purchase it. Is that, to your knowledge, is that like one particular type of luau or kalo?
You know, I know, you know, Wong's supplied most of Oahu for a really long time. And if you talk to a lot of other cooks that utilize luau on the regular, over the past 5-6 years, we've noticed a significant decrease in the quality of luau. And in talking with my friends, we kind of came across that more people are utilizing, purchasing luau. So now you have different farmers growing luau. So whereas before, mahiai kalo would know the best varieties to plant, now you got all kind of any kind of people planting any kind of stuffs. So it gets harder. But you know, I know Times, I believe Times still gets this from Wong's. It says that, you know, most of them have the label of where it came from. To be honest, if I see a bag of luau in a market and that has no label on it, I personally, I wouldn't buy it. That's just me. I don't mean to sound ho'okano about that. That's just me. So we're up to temperature right now. I'm gonna add, this is 1 quart of coconut milk. Now at this point, remember we're talking about tasting. I'm gonna taste it where it's at. It's really important to taste our food every step of the way. When we're making like chicken stock or soup, I mean, we're tasting at the moment we put water in. So it's good. It's got some heat. Doesn't have very much. It's kind of wimpy on the curry. And I would actually like a little bit more olena flavor to it. So remember that kitchen towel?
Maybe tell some of us those out there that don't know what olena is, what you're doing.
Olena is makolelo holly is it turmeric or turmeric?
Something like that. Turmeric. Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's utilized in la'au, you know, in Hawaiian medicine. It's utilized culinarily. It's utilized in dyes. Utilized for a whole lot of stuff. What we're gonna do right here is gonna take this. I'm gonna slice it. I still got the skin on, but it's nice and clean. I'm gonna slice it thin, real thin, and just go bing. Like that. I can plant the rest of those. Yeah. So I always say a recipe is like life. It's just a guideline. But to be able to, like, you know, exercise life to the max, to be able to change dishes, you got to understand where it came from. You got to have a foundation. And so let me take you outside real quick. So there's a period of time that my aunt for a year, and I needed to make luau. So I threw it in my smoker. A smoker is like an oven. It's the same thing. So we just take whatever it is that you're gonna cook with some meat, brown it. I start the braise in the smoker on low for about 4 or 5 hours. Then I add my luau. And there you go.
Ooh,
So this is smoked
wow.
luau. Gonzo gets some home, y'all. Oh, look what you did. Mahalo Maui Nui. Like 20, there's a whole deer in that box. I think it out. Watch the chicken doodle right there. So I'm gonna skim off some of this fat. But it has been cooking for about 7 hours on a low heat, probably no more than 250, 275. Just water, onions, salt and pepper, and of course, show you.
Wow.
Oh. The pipi came from the kind. This is Mahina's. Paishan, thank you, Philin. This is their cow, brisket. So now that we got that, we'll put that off to the side. So this is it, up to temperature. Our curry. Taste it one more time. Not bad. It's okay. Give it a 4. I like brown sugar. Brown sugar has a little more depth. I don't want it to be sweet. Just want it to round it out. The Southeast Asians, not that. So the Southeast Asians, there's this flavor profile: hot, sour, salty, sweet. Meaning that if you can achieve hot, sour, salty, sweet, all those components into your dish and balance it out, it should be ono. So for instance, hot, we got heat from the curry. Sour, we got a little bit of sour that comes from the both the curry and as well as the olena. Salty, salt, and sweet. Not only the coconut, but I think the onions too, they lend a certain amount of sweetness. When you cook it down and you don't burn it, that evaporates water and that elevates the sugar content. It's not like more sugar comes out. It's just that the ratio of water to sugar changes. So once I got it like this, we're getting there. Curry is awesome because it is super easy. You don't use stuff that you gotta braise. So this is luau. This is just all the other extras that didn't go in there. I drained it for a couple hours. I'm gonna turn my heat down so nothing burns.
How much luau was that? Like about a cup or so?
2 cups maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, calamari. I can send you the recipe later if anybody wants it.
Cool.
If you wanted it to be vegetarian or vegan, you can omit the meat. Do I look vegetarian? Just say. Okay. Taste. Yeah, it's okay. Pinch more salt. So as you can see, it's at a good bubble. This is what I would definitely still call a boil. What we want to do is we want to take this down to a simmer or like a lazy bubble. We'll show you what a lazy bubble is. Okay. So right about there, lazy bubble. You see that? You can go a little bit lower. It's a lazy bubble. Now, if I wanted to skim the fat off the top, you can offset the pot. And what that does is that creates a cool zone here, the heat's over here. And the simmering action is gonna push all the fat to one side. So we'll offset it. We'll show you in a second. But let's taste these. All right. So our first variety here is Ka'i. Ka'i, and as I tell you this, I just internalized all this. So I just learned all this stuff too. So thanks to Rick Barboza and Kamala Yim for the good lessons. But Ka'i, which has a, you know, it has a green oil. And so if you can tell, it's pretty broken down. So just water and salt. Yeah. I also left these at a room temperature, just so that temperature is not a factor in how it affects the flavor. It definitely tastes like luau. It's tender. It still has structure to it. Even though it looks broken down, it still has structure to kind of like if it was all held together like this. Next up is our elepayo. I was really stoked that our elepayo took, because elepayo is kind of, it can be hit or miss. Either she really wants to go there or she doesn't want to go there. And thank you. She wanted to go there. This one tastes almost woody, not woody in a bad way, but like if you're sucking on a, you know, if you're like sucking on a piece of bark or something. It's a little sturdier than the Ka'i, which means maybe next season we'll try make lala with it. This is the UH hybrid from Kaku Oiwi. Lindsay guys nicknamed it Prometheus. I keep forgetting to ask him why they nicknamed it Prometheus. But if you can tell, it's definitely broken down. It's actually a little bit glossier than the rest of them. It could be because of water content. Oh. Whoa. Super soft, tender. It's got a lot of umami. It's almost like voluptuous.
Oh.
It is. I'll be back. This is good. This is ono. It's a hybrid. I was taught that hybridized varieties tend to be sturdier, obviously because they were hybridized, right, to sort of work against the natural predators and diseases that are prevalent here in Hawaii. So my understanding was that like the lao like that would have been thicker, right, to avoid leaf blight. But what's interesting and surprising, makes me happy, is how these hybridized varieties are still very, very tender and hard breaks down. This is Lena Lena. If you've never had Lena Lena, the kalo is amazing. It's gummy and full of flavor, and it's like eating. There's almost like a creaminess, butteriness to the kalo. So let's see what the Lena Lena tastes like. Very sturdy. Boom. Artichoke. Almost tastes like artichokes. Tastes like not almost. Tastes like artichoke. I love artichokes. Artichokes are notoriously hard to pair with wines.
Well, speaking of that, there was a comment here that says, Justin says, like a fine wine with the barrel taste.
Oh, you mean back on
the Prometheus?
No.
I think.
No, Justin, not like a barrel taste. You know how a wine, a big wine, is tannic. Yeah, it hits you on the sides over here. There's no tannins in there were no tannins. Good question, Justin. There were no tannins in the lao. It was just a little bit woody. Yeah. Mahalo for that. Good question. Last but not least, ula ula kumu. I had ula ula poni, but we cooked it and ate it all, so I apologize. So ula ula kumu has a lot of the same characteristics as Lena Lena. The artichoke is there, a lot lighter. Yum. And a little more tender. That was cool. Any of you want Holy next season? Let me know. Yeah. So we're almost there. This chicken is just about ready. And you spoon. At this point, if I wanted to thicken it up, you know, you could do the cornstarch slurry. I kind of like it as is. I'm gonna finish it with just a little bit of heavy cream, just to give it a little bit more richness. And I don't know about any other cookers out there, but for me, you know, luau being a very lean sort of, you know, ingredient, I often find myself adding fat to it to sort of enrich, you know, the whole experience.
I have another good question.
Yeah.
Justin is asking, do all of these varieties that you're referring to, were they all grown in wetland or dry land or both?
They were Prometheus, the Kaku'o hybrid. It was wetland, lo'i. And then I put it in mine with dry land. If you saw in the back, it's all dry. Yeah. Right on, Justice. If you're Justice, my student Justice. Hi, Justice.
And Kalea Aloha from Maui, you were watching her show the other day. She says, how long are you gonna simmer it for?
Kalea, it is mahalo nui, Kalea. I loved your presentation, you and Hi'ile. It was so inspiring. I have been having the hardest time with online education and creating dynamic curriculum because, you know, I like to do it with my hamana. So mahalo for your presentation. And I'm gonna cook it for about 5 more minutes because we have 9. But in all seriousness, the lal was already cooked, the chicken was already braised. So I just put everything together. But I think I'm gonna stop in about 5 minutes, cool it down a little bit, pack it up for the gangi to take home, and then I'm gonna eat it tomorrow.
Awesome.
Any more questions?
No, just everybody's still getting hungry now, and they're saying they're excited to get the recipe so they can try make them at home.
Ikino, I'll email it to you, and then I will also post it up. I'll post it up on my feed as well.
How can people connect with you? You know, under like Pili Group, do you guys have a Facebook page or a website?
So with this whole COVID quarantine, we started an organization called Chef Hui, chefhui.com. And what we did was when all of our friends started closing their restaurants and when the hotels started closing, we partnered with Aloha Harvest and Pacific Gateway out of Kalihi on Umi Street. And we started to aggregate products and ingredients from restaurants. And I think we moved close to about 100,000 pounds in the first 2 weeks. And we take all those large donations, you break them down into more manageable deliveries, and then we sent it out. So like, you know, Auntie Tammy Smith, Lunalilo, she's doing cooking for her community. Key Project, Kiloho Domingo. Let's see, who else? Nakamakai got the DeSoto clan on it. Waianae Coast Comprehensive. Bunch of other people at Kola Poco. And, you know, that's what we started doing. And we've moved into this this food distribution where we're cooking now, where we're able to get people to invest and purchase local ingredients so it all stays in Hawaii and then we still get it out. You can find us there, Pili Group. If you know me, I'm a creature of habit. I'm really not that hard to find.
Another good question. I think this is referring to the luau curry. Can you freeze and warm up for the next day?
Absolutely. Good question. Freezing starches real quick. You guys ever made like beef stew with potato or kalo, froze it, and then when you defrosted it and heated it back up, you noticed that your kalo or your potato was kind of spongy? So the hyperbolic answer is that all the little water molecules, when you put them in your regular freezer, it freezes slowly and the molecules burst. So water is released. So when you defrost it and all the water weeps out, all you're left with is like this little spongy matter of cellulose and stuff, right? So what I like to do is that if I'm going to freeze anything, I'm going to put my kalo and stuff in. I don't put the kalo in yet if I know I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Then I heat up the kalo, the frozen kalo on its own. And for some reason, heating up on its own, re-steaming it doesn't make it spongy. Then I add it into my curry. But this stuff right here, oh yes, absolutely. Put them in your glass Tupperware and stuff like that. Bing! Food for the week.
Awesome. And then here's a fun one. Trisha is asking, is that buffalo trace in front of your pot?
It is. It is. There's a story to that. We're about to wrap up, and I wanted to mahalo every one of you for tuning in. Thank you for all of you and for all of my kumus and mentors for inspiring me. You know, we as a Lahui are still continuing to galvanize and hold community sacred even in times of separation. And, you know, I would like to cheers you for that. When we had Hey Up Here before Keiki, whenever people would roll up to the pier, if we would often pour you a shot. That's pre-Keiki days. And so with that, since none of us can go to Shinshote, Malia, this one is for you and Kaipo.
Mahalo.
But if there's no more questions, thanks, guys. Cheering.
Mahalo nui. Yeah, that was amazing. And actually, I'm going to give them like just another minute. If you guys have a question or a comment, I'm watching both the Zoom chat as well as Facebook chat. This is your chance to ask Gooch a question, or, you know, I see some hearts and some smiling faces going up there. A lot of mahalo being shared, and they loving all the great tips. They're putting some cheers. Ke ala kahua nui on Moko Keave is also cheering with us here. So yeah,
Yapana.
Kalei is saying kamau, Gooch, kamau.
Mahalo, guys.
All right, mahalo nui. So I'm gonna bring up some of our. We got plenty. Yeah, go ahead.
I am available, gang. If anyone, you know, if you know already, you can always hit me up or send me a message. Cooking questions. I am here for you. So
awesome.
Anytime.
Mahalo nui.
Do we do
again.
it? Yes. Oh, he's still going.
No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, Maria.
So mahalo again. Mahalo ya oi Gooch me kaohana. You know, sending lots of aloha to our Kanayo Kana team who is always there to kako'o us. On the scenes, videotaping and helping us monitor. Kaipo, who's doing a lot of the back end, to all our partners out there, to Waiinui Akea, to OHA, CNHA, all of our friends. We're just really thankful, especially again, Gooch, for sharing all this mo'olelo and your pilino to Hāloa. And we just love that. I hope you all are inspired to go and cook some lu'au and maybe even make a lu'au curry. So, you know, please help us serve you better. And we always ask you to go on to kanayokana.net/survey and just answer a few questions. There's like 5 or 6 questions there. Let us know what kind of topics you want to hear. We love bringing Lei Ānuenue into your hale. So yeah, just let us know if you have a particular practitioner or chef or kumuhula or a friend, a kupuna that wants to talk story. We would love to host you here. Just let us know in the survey, and that's a great place to connect with us. And here's kind of an overview of what's coming up tomorrow, apopo. You know, in the morning, my tita Noi Arista will be talking about research in Hawaiian language archives and learning a little bit more about kaniko. So if you don't know and you've always wanted to know, like, how do I look up I keep hearing about Hawaiian language newspapers and these archives. Well, come learn a little bit more about that. If you've never heard of a kaniko or you have heard of a kaniko and you want to learn more, Tita Noilani is the person to learn this from. So please come and visit us tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And then, you know, oh, Kalamaya, I was supposed to correct this. This is supposed to say at 12 p.m. Ekela Kaniopi Okroja will be joining us to share more and to do more Olelo Hawaii sessions. And I'm sure many of you are recognizing our friends here on the screen. So please go to kanayokana.net/lay. That's where you can always find our most updated schedule. You can read a little bit more of a description on what these sessions are all about. So please, again, Apopo, Pola Eva, 9 o'clock, and then Kaukalai Kololo at 12 o'clock. At noon is when we'll have a Olelo Hawaii session. And you know, it's open to any of you. Maybe you do Olelo Hawaii and you wanna be able to be exposed to it more, or you don't Olelo Hawaii, but you always wanted to hear, like, what is this all about? And you know, you'll be able to pick up words, you'll be able to learn from their discussion. So it's open to everyone. So please let everyone know what we're doing and come connect with us. So again, a big mahalo nui loa to all of our partners. The best way to stay connected to us is either on Facebook or on Instagram. You can look for us and follow us, Kanayo Kana, as well as Hawaii Nui a Kea. And yeah, come like our posts, come engage with us. And that's where usually on Mondays is when we'll put out all of the programs coming up for the week. So yeah, go check it out, gang. Go check it out. Again, a big mahalo to Gooch and our team. And aloha. Have a great rest of the day. And we see you guys tomorrow. Apopo.